Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Seth Phillips.
We still have that winter weather advisory, and this does include the valley areas because we could still see a trace, and that's what we're expecting. Now, it is very light compared to what it was just about half an hour ago when it was coming down heavy. So that means good news, at least for right now, that's not going to collect quite as much on the roadways. With that rain-snow mix, it's going to be a little bit of a trace below 1,500 feet, but above that, you'll start to see a little bit more. So what would be the long-term negative effects if we're going forward, going from the driest year on record to potentially one of the wettest? I mean, looking at the visible satellite imagery over the last few days, all the clearing from the clouds, you could see the snow literally from the Cascades all the way out to the east side, well east of Oregon. But that being said, we do still have a little bit of snow here on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and pick some up. Maybe enough to build a tiny snowman. It's going to be full of grass too, but really not enough. In fact, what you see right there, that is not the case. That was actually Erin Maxon's snowman that she built earlier today. It has since well, taking a nap, I guess you would say, because it's falling apart. But there are those issues, and even in our region, when we get a big storm like the one that we had last week, bringing snow down to low elevations, and that causes a problem for travelers. Winds are still expected to be at about 200 miles per hour once it does reach the coast. Now, the winds will rapidly come down as it spreads further inland. Keep in mind, land always does well to start to break these things up. Weather cams like this one in Ashland at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival that can show rain on the bricks or zoom out and show weather conditions, because snow levels sit roughly around 1,000 feet. They're going to kind of hover throughout the day, coming up a little bit once we get that daytime heating, coming right back down once we go into the evening hours. Things are looking great. As we've been saying all week, comfortable conditions. Perfect is the word that we've even used on the morning show all week, and that's exactly what we've got out here. Not too hot, not too cold. So watch what happens to this line of showers. It just completely disappears once it hits that high pressure. But whenever we do get that heavy snow that comes down, it pulls the cold air with it, and that's why we've been seeing snow on all of the valley roads throughout the last couple of hours. That being said, there's still going to be the travel issues. There's still going to be slushy roads at times. Even on the side of the roads, we are expecting a little bit of snow to start to stick a little bit. If you happen to live at Crater Lake, which you don't, I know most people don't, but that's definitely going to be a white Christmas. Yeah. The Klamath Basin, a white Christmas. So it all just depends on where you are in elevation. Now, I've got 3 points to make in weather, and I've got 3 darts to show you that. So let's start with number 1. All right, comfortable temperatures today. Got it. All right, after that, we're going to have cooler temperatures over the weekend with a little bit of rain. Easy. All right, and what's next? Warmer next week with the triple digits. Let's see if this one's going to pop a balloon. No, maybe it's not going to happen. You see, it didn't go through. When you look at a hurricane track and the projected path, there's always that uncertainty that it could go in any one direction. Now, we always take a look at what's happening outside of the hurricane to tell what's going to steer this thing. As far as travel impacts go, morning commutes are going to be a little bit interesting, especially today, but then also tomorrow with the next round of storms that do come in. So once again, just make sure you have your chains and snow tires if you are going to be traveling the passes. I'm up here on top of Mount Ashland, nearly 7,500 feet in elevation, to show you one of those radar sites. That's right, that dome that you see behind me is one of the most powerful Doppler radars in the world. And the reason why it sits so high up here is so that way when it spins around, it can see as much precipitation without being obstructed. And then there's you, the viewer. You are one of the best resources that we have for weather data collection, because when you tell us that it rains or that there's snow and ice on the ground, we can let everybody know what's happening in your area. So all of that smoke going to travel through the Applegate Valley, Medford, Ashland, all of these areas going to be getting a light haze. Already getting a little bit of an upgrade for some of those chain requirements on I-5 because of the snow that's been falling near the Sexton Summit area. They're saying vehicles that are towing or the single drive axle vehicles above 10,000 GVW. Basically what that means is you want to have them carried with you if you are anything other than that. About 4,000 feet is that snow level. It's going to rise throughout the day. So some areas starting off with snow, transitioning over to rain. That's why Brookings will warm up, sometimes 10, 20 degrees above just a few miles north or south. But this dip in the jet stream right there, that's enough low pressure to keep the clouds in place. Well, we do have that snow that has been falling out there. In fact, snow levels dropped down to around 660 feet last night into this morning. So we did get snow falling to the valley floors. We're just over 2,600 500 acres estimated, 6% contained. So we do still have a long way to go with this fire. That being said, we are in the good category right now for all of our air quality stations. Next 24 hours, watch how it all plays out. We keep the snow showers moving in. Once it crosses the coastals, it turns into snow. But you see how we get a little bit of pink right there in Medford. We get some green in Grants Pass. That's that snow level fluctuating up and down. As far as the white Christmas, I know everybody's been wondering who will wake up with snow this morning. If you're below 1,500 feet, which is about the midway point between Medford and Ashland, that's where it starts to change over. So below that in Medford, all the way to Grants Pass, the Illinois Valley, the Umpqua Valley, no snow on the ground. Above that, you'll see a little bit. So just expect that this morning. In fact, coming back from the coast yesterday, I saw all over the ground, all over the roads, the ice was still there, especially in areas a little bit further inland from the coast. Now on the ground, you're going to see quite a bit. We have about an inch of accumulation out here, and that's just on the grass. So there will be some areas, especially, this is 1,000 feet. Above this, 1,500 feet, you're looking at possibly 2, maybe even more inches of accumulation. Now it's not really sticking to the ground because temperatures are a little bit too warm, but it is falling out there. Like Laura was saying, in Phoenix, she's getting the snow. But I also do want to report that ODOT just put a warning saying that there are delays along I-5. 2,000 feet is pretty much the line right now that's starting to keep that accumulation. That's where temperatures are at freezing or a little bit below. But as far as in the valley, when you get down towards Medford and Grants Pass, it's either a rain-snow mix or snow falling, but not necessarily accumulating.
Now we're checking in with Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Seth Phillips. Seth, that's a lot of snow up there.
A lot of snow up there, yeah. I mean, to keep in mind that just in 2 weeks, 130 inches of snow. That is insane. Exactly. That is a lot of snow to fall in a short period of time. But really, with these storms that have been coming through, I mean, they had their largest 3-day snowfall total just a couple of weekends ago since 2007. That's a long time to go without a really big snowfall in just a 3-day period. Well, they had it 2 weeks ago. We're definitely getting some more coming in with this storm. Now, the bulk of that precipitation came in with the first line of showers. There it is right there. It has now made its way off to the east, hitting Lake County and parts of Modoc at this time. But we are talking about this next line right here moving in. Very scattered in nature, very light falling showers, but we are getting snow falling in the valleys at this time because snow levels sit roughly around 1,000 feet. They're going to kind of hover throughout the day, coming up a little bit once we get that daytime heating, coming right back down once we go into the evening hours. Another short wave will come through and drop those snow levels down tonight. But what we're looking at for right now, where that snow is falling, you can guess anywhere above 1,000 feet. Accumulation, though, that is the big word of the day. Where will it stick? Where will it not? Where will you find snow when you wake up this morning? Not in the valleys. In fact, you have to get above 1,500 feet to start seeing that sticking, and then at that point, it's still very light. So what we're looking at for right now, as far as temperatures go, cold air. Cold air has come in behind the front. It will continue to bring in cold air throughout the day, so we're really not going to rise a whole lot, but we are expecting temperatures back up to about where they were, but cooler by about 3 or 4 degrees in the afternoon. As far as winds go right now, calm or light, not expected to do a whole lot out there because the storm is basically now going to be moving through and moving its way out. But these are your afternoon temperatures, 40s, 30s, all the way down to the 20s for some of our higher locations, but light and scattered showers. It's all we're really going to be seeing today because the bulk of that precipitation came in early this morning. So our winter weather advisory does stay in effect, but it only goes until about 4 o'clock when those showers will start to lighten up even more. Still expecting anywhere up to 5 inches below 3,000 feet. If you're above, another 4 to 10 inches expected throughout the day today. So we also have that winter storm warning. Now let's go over the next 24 hours, kind of give you an idea of how this thing is going to play out. We're getting the scattered shower activity right now, another push coming in, and that's going to keep those snow showers going, keeping snow falling in the valleys. But then you'll notice that as we go throughout the day, that daytime heating kind of brings up the snow levels a little bit. So as those showers go through, you'll see a little bit of green, a little bit of pink in some of those valley areas. That's because snow levels come up. Then they go back down as another storm comes through, and we are going to be expecting that light and isolated shower activity as we head into Christmas. And I know the big question is, will we have a white Christmas in the valleys? Not looking likely. In fact, I can say with pretty much confidence at this point, nothing will stick on the grounds on the valley floors. You get up to about Ashland and then higher than that, that's where you're going to be seeing the snow stick around. But as temperatures come up through the day, it's going to melt off that snow, especially in Ashland. So a lot of our residents may see snow this morning. By the afternoon, likely not going to happen. So snow estimates throughout Friday morning. This is what it's looking like based on your elevation. Below 1,500 feet, not looking like much. Maybe up to an inch. We've already had an inch of accumulation in Eagle Point. It's likely some of that is melted off by now. But you can just imagine that the higher up you go, the more snow you're likely to get and then keep. Let's go throughout the South Coast for today. We're talking about scattered rain, breezy conditions at times. Northern California, the rest of our inland locations will keep the scattered rain and snow showers throughout the day. Snow for the basin. Everybody sits at about 4,000 feet or above, so we're looking at just snow for there, snow for the mountains as well. But as you get into the valley, it's going to be that 1,200-foot mark as to where we keep the snow falling throughout the day, because we'll keep hovering above and below that 1,200-foot mark. So going throughout Christmas, we keep the scattered showers going. That turns a little bit more isolated for others. By the afternoon of Christmas, that's when everything is wrapping up. Then we go into Saturday with a dry day. In fact, most of the weekend is looking pretty dry. We don't get our next round of showers until about Sunday night for most residents in the region. And then that weak cold front is already over by the morning on Monday. So really not expecting a whole lot coming up the next few days. It's just this storm that we're focused on. We already have chain requirements in many of the passes right now. So that's something to keep in mind. Weather and traffic is coming up in just a little bit, and I'll of course tell you which passes right now have those chain requirements, so that way you can better prepare your travel.
All right, Seth, thank you so much for all the information. Appreciate it.